Hey there, we're the Huge Movie Fanatics coming to you here at the end of the year.
December 30th,
December 30th.
2011.
So we're really close to the very end. And
You're probably not going to see a movie tomorrow.
No, I'm seeing one on New Year's though.
Well, New Year's is 2012.
Yeah, it's 2012. But it'll be a 2011 movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
But yeah,
But
well. So
what are we here to do?
This is to do a review of like our summary of the year, our best of.
And you're going to do a top 5 and worst one?
Yeah, I'm going to do top 5 and worst one.
Which is probably, I know the worst changed.
The worst changed. Some of a lot of it stayed similar.
Oh, okay. That'll be easy.
Yeah, this is going to be relatively easy. In number 5, I'm going to go with
For best.
This is for the best.
Number 5.
Number
goes
5,
to-
I'm going to go with Scream 4.
Okay, that went down.
Yeah, that went down a little bit. But yeah, Scream 4 is number 5. Wow, what an excellent movie and comeback for that franchise.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't recognized by the rest of the public. But time will tell on that one. You mark my words.
Yeah, 20 years it'll be classic.
Yeah, I think that one has makings of a cult movie, whereas the other Screams were
More than...
like pop.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That is kind of strange. But
So we'll see.
yeah, number 4, I would go with the comedy Horrible Bosses, which I had no expectations of that being any good whatsoever. Man, that is hysterical. It's mean-spirited, but at the same time, like, kind of rightfully so, because a lot of bosses out there, not everybody, but a lot of bosses can be really
I think it's like
brutal.
a prerequisite for a job of
Yeah.
being a boss. is being
Of
an
either
asshole.
being an ass or incompetent.
Or both.
Or both. And this movie just totally, like, for anybody who's ever
Captures
had
that.
a bad boss,
Which is pretty much everyone.
pretty much everybody, you can sympathize with these people so much that you're kind of rooting for them, even though what they're doing is sadistic and whatnot. But like, man, that was great, and I loved the three main actors in the movie, the heroes that you're following, especially Jason Bateman. He's just generally great, but this is, I think, the best thing he's done outside of Arrested Development. So yeah, good movie. See that one. Number 3 goes to Thor. The
I can't
Marvel.
remember what
That was number 2 last
Oh,
time.
okay, alright, sounds good.
Thor, great Marvel epic.
Shakespearean play.
Shakespearean play set in a Marvel universe. I like using that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Number 2 goes to X-Men First Class, which was previously
Yeah,
number 1.
I remember
And
that.
excellent movie still. That one is kind of tip and tip with my
Number
1, which it goes to Harry Potter. Just
Oh, duh.
the excellence of
Duh.
that final one. It's actually that I just was researching it. It's the best reviewed movie of the year.
Okay.
On all of like the critic breakdown, it is number 1. Second, the second place being Hugo. So yeah,
Hugo.
and then I have like 2 honorable mentions. I'm not going to honorably mention things that are insanely good and everybody recognizes, like Jack or Hugo. My honorable mentions go to movies that probably should be taking another look at. I'm going to go with Tintin. Wow, The Adventures of Tintin, Spielberg's movie, came out like 2-3 weeks ago. That is so good. It just took me to Raiders of the Lost Ark. It felt like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Only fake ass mocap.
You know, the previews make it look like that, and that was what kind of kept me away from wanting to see it. When you're in the theater, you don't notice it one bit. I did not watch it in 3D because screw that.
Yeah.
But wow, like the animation is just flawlessly beautiful, and Spielberg actually pulls it off much better than Zemeckis ever did with his 3 mocap
Yeah,
movies.
those are almost
And I love those movies. Don't get me wrong, especially
but the
Polar
faces
Express.
are just like
Oh, they do have a little bit of a
facial
problem. This one doesn't at all. I was like, holy crap, blown away. Andy Serkis plays one of the main characters in that movie. He's actually the main character. Not Tintin isn't. He's the leading role, but he's not necessarily the main focus of the movie.
Okay.
Wow, Andy Serkis makes that movie so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it eventually. I still might, whatever. I'll see it on video for sure. I'm not sure if I'll make it to the theater.
That was my reaction, and then we just sort of went to the blind of the theater, and then we were like, well, this is playing, well, let's just watch it. all three of us were just blown away. None of us had
You,
any...
yourself, and yourself.
Me, my shout out to my fiance and to...
Hey, I never heard. Since when?
Just about a month ago. Thank you. Shout out to my fiance
Congratulations.
and one of our other best friends who usually resides in Iowa for college. But that also brings me to Andy Serkis's other big movie this year, Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I am not a fan of the franchise,
No
almost
way.
at all. I do like the first one, but I like even that very minimally. This movie was so good, it actually made me want to go and rewatch those movies, which I did and sort of discovered why I didn't really like them.
Exactly.
This movie is so phenomenal. I even showed it to my dad. He had the same reaction. He's like, I don't like Planet of the Apes.
I'm not watching that crap song.
He was like,
You
was
watched
like,
the coin toss.
that was a really good picture. He was kind of shocked. Everybody that I went to see that one with too ended up loving that, or who I forced into seeing it through like badgering. Such a good movie, shockingly so, and it's probably the best prequel I have ever seen. So yeah, reminded me a lot of Star Trek.
2009?
The 2009 one, because that one was one where my expectations were low, and what I got was so beyond extraordinary that it made me want to go back and rewatch the entirety of the Star Trek universe. And that one I have a little more fond memories of than Planet of the Apes, but this movie is great, so those are my honorable mentions. Let's hear your best.
Oh, before your worst?
Yeah, I guess I can...
Go ahead and throw out your worst.
Okay, worst movie of the year is a movie called Barely Legal. It's one of those teen comedies. It was... it had a small theatrical run, but it was essentially straight to DVD. It was one of those ones where I was sitting at home with the then girlfriend watching, we were like, let's watch something on Netflix.
Oh, let's watch
Oh, yeah, she's still my girlfriend now, fiance. Let's watch something on Netflix. So that was one of the top choices for comedies. We're like, this has potential, so we watched it, and then we just couldn't stop watching it because it just escalated from being worse to worse. Like each scene, so that sort of tops itself.
So that means you can't stop watching it.
It's one of those captivatingly bad movies, but then the moment it's over, you just feel like you've been like eye raped. It was so bad. If you want to see nudity, though, the movie is like wall to wall.
I'd have to check it out.
Is just so not worth it, believe me. So anyway, that worst movie of the year is Barely Legal.
Barely Legal, but that wasn't a theatrical.
No, for the big of the big theatrical
Yeah.
movies, I still stand by Bad Teacher as being.
Oh, okay, for theatrical 2011.
Yeah. Another last honorable mention goes to The Muppets.
Oh, okay.
That was such a good movie. Oh my god.